Uh-oh, that doesn't feel right, does it? I know, it doesn't. Well, you know that feeling when you have to drop one project to work on another, and then you put that on hold because there's something more urgent coming, and then there's something even more urgent? Well, that's how I feel for the last 3 days. I have all my vehicles disabled. The only one that I can use is this one. And it's almost December, so luckily there's no snow on the ground yet. So I can drive that to go pick up parts to fix this, so I can go and tow my other vehicle, which is disabled, in another area of the town. So yeah, that's how I feel. Alright, but I'm starting from the middle of the story because this is not how it all begins. I don't even know where to start. I mean, so many problems happened with my cars, all of my cars in the last 10 days, I should say, that I kept working on my own cars, which I always complain that I don't have time for. But when I say that, I mean my vintage cars, not my daily drivers. Well, all my daily drivers broke, and some of them more than once. So since the last 10 days, all I've been doing is fixing one problem after the other. So unfortunately, I don't have much footage to show you about triumphs, but you still get to hear about my week because I'm gonna rant here a little bit about how everything broke. And believe me, it is car related, so it might be interesting for you. So here's how it goes. It all started with the Jeep, which Nick is driving now because obviously his Miata is not ready, but he got his driver's license and I gave him my Jeep to drive. But the Jeep had a very annoying misfire at 2500 RPM for a year or so that I couldn't figure, but it was drivable. He could drive it. However, last week he was coming to me to pick up something, and when he arrived he says, "This is the worst drive ever. The car is misfiring so bad that I can't even drive it anymore." So I went for a test drive and yeah, it was bad. So it all started with the Jeep. It took me 3 days to figure out what it was, but finally I figured it out. Anyway, long story short, it was the crank position sensor. We fixed that, so it was ready to go. So that was great. Nick picked it up and he went home to his mom's place, and the day after he called me and he said the radiator is leaking badly. So fixed one thing, broke another. So I looked around and I realized that I couldn't get a radiator here in the next week or so, but I was going to the States in the meantime to do something else, and I looked around and I found thousands of radiators there. So I said to Nick, okay, when I'm in the States, I'm gonna pick up a radiator and I'm gonna bring it to you so you can install it in shop class, because that's what he does in shop class. It's cool. He works on his own car. So I went to the States to do what I was supposed to do and bring a radiator. And that's where another thing broke. And what broke there was my girlfriend's Lincoln MKS that we were using to drive around. So right in front of our hotel, on the parking lot, a ball joint broke. Fantastic. So again, it was a very long story, but I'm gonna make it short. I'll tell you, AAA came to pick it up and they literally tried to drag the vehicle on the flatbed as the wheel was dragging, and they started damaging my fender. So I told them to stop and they stopped. They put a piece of wood underneath, and then at some point they even put my own wheel under my own car, trying to drag my car somehow with the wheel underneath. Like, what they ended up doing was they ripped my CV joint apart as well. So it was super frustrating story, but anyways, it ended well. They ended up picking up the car and taking it to their own shop and fixing it for me because they caused more damage than what they were helping. Of course, I paid for the parts and all that, so I paid for a new CV axle and for the new control arm with a ball joint, but they paid for the labor, so it's fine. But that's not where the story ends. So we come home, I passed by Nick, I gave him the new radiator, and on the next day I went to pick up a customer's car which keeps coming back to me with annoying oil leak. It is the third time now that the same thing happens, but more about that later. So Rusty and I went to pick up the car. I recorded a whole entire video in the car. Turns out that I didn't turn the microphone on, so there wasn't much usable footage there. So anyways, we picked up the car, brought it home. I went to drop off the trailer, and on the way back, my truck broke a ball joint. What are the odds that two of my vehicles break a ball joint on the front left wheel in 2 days? And by the way, another vehicle that is still on my name, my ex-wife drives it, Nick's mom, and that also broke a ball joint over the weekend. It's crazy. Still on my name. So talking about bad luck, right? Anyways, so I had to CIA it home, and as you can see, it's sitting on my driveway, broken down. In the meantime, Nick is calling me, and he says that the radiator got fixed and it is perfect now. However, the alternator broke. It's not charging, the battery is dead, I'm on the side of the road. What do you do? I'm telling you, how is that even possible? All my vehicles broke down at the same time. So anyway, that's where we are, and let me show you what happens next. Yeah, it's upper control arm ball joint thingy. I guess to change that, it's gonna be a big deal, but I have some tools here. Let's see. Yep, this is the culprit. You, buddy, need to be up there. I don't know what you're doing out, but now we're gonna have to replace you. So obviously we're gonna have to remove the upper control arm because it comes with the ball joint. Why would they make it separately? Like, let's replace the whole entire upper control arm. And to replace the upper control arm, why don't we just put the bolts from inside out? So in order to remove them, we have to push them in. But obviously we have the spring with the shock up there. And whoever owned this vehicle before me, they also decided to put, what is this, like 2-inch lift for whatever reason. So this whole thing needs to come out. For that to come out, we need to disconnect lots of things on the lower control arm. So anyway, I jacked it up, I put it on jack stand. So now the wheel is in the air. We're gonna start by removing that. We need to disconnect all these lines here because vacuum lines, brake lines, everything now, the wheel is hanging on those. Doing some sketchy stuff. Oops. Yeah, things are getting worse before they get better. All right, that's fixed. We have a brand new upper control arm and ball joint. You see the extreme angle that it's sitting on? That's the main reason why it got destroyed, because of that stupid 3-inch lift or 2-inch lift. I didn't measure it when it was out, but some lift. And if it was summer right now, I was gonna just take it off. But if I take it off, I'm gonna have to go on the other side and do the same thing, and I don't want to do that. And anyways, it's if it lasts until the summer, this truck, I'm gonna probably get rid of the lift because it's stupid. Anyway, that is done. I'm frozen to death. The Jeep is done as well. That needed an alternator, so we changed the alternator on that. And oh, finally I can go inside and warm up. It is not that cold today, but it is around the freezing point. So I made fire inside already in the fireplace. So I'm going in to warm up. All right, so we are finally back on where we started a few days ago. Yeah, can you believe it? A few days passed since I picked up this car and dealt with a few others. Anyways, so we picked it up because of the oil leak that keeps coming back. And I just started it and I confirmed that the oil leak keeps coming from the same place, from the oil filter adapter, the spin-on oil filter adapter. And it is the same location. It's kind of, if you look at it, it's kind of at 4 o'clock down there on the circle. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that there's something inside the groove there. So let's see, I'm gonna take it out now and we're gonna go and take a look together. Actually, you're gonna see, I won't be able to see, but I'm hoping that the camera or my phone can be squeezed in there and we can take a better look together on the screen. So the filter and the adapter out, and this is where in this area, so imagine this is flipped and that's how it goes in the engine. So like I said, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, somewhere in this area is where it is leaking from. I can literally see it when I'm under the car. And you can see that there's absolutely no damage on the adapter. This o-ring fell off somewhere, but we're gonna find it. And let's take a look now at the gasket down there. So it is, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you see? I can see it. It's pinched again. Right in this area. You see this? Is it focused? I don't know. Oh, look at that. Same thing. Okay. Same thing on the same place. I hope that was focused enough. But anyway, I'm gonna take it out now. And we're gonna take a look on the bench. And we're gonna come back and look at the channel, if there's something there. There you go. Exactly the same thing as the old gasket in the exact same place. So something is damaging it there. Okay, I'm gonna go underneath and I'm gonna clean it up. Or should we take a look before I clean it up? Yeah, let's go and look together. Do you see anything? I don't. Okay, I went down there and I went with a tool all over the place. There's absolutely nothing inside that channel. It is good. I was hoping to find a chunk of metal or something, but I went with this tool. Like I went around and like this, it's smooth, there's nothing. So anyway, I have this oil filter adapter sealing kit that I ordered for another car, but that car is not coming together for a few weeks now. So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna order a new one for this car. Now this is different. These other parts are different for a different sealing kit, I guess. So it wasn't gonna work for me anyway, but I'm gonna use this gasket because I can tell just by looking at it, I think it is much thicker than this one. I'll take it out and let's compare it. Like this happened before to me. I don't remember which car, but it was leaking badly and I kept changing gaskets, new gaskets that I bought from one of our major suppliers, and this is from another one, by the way, but it looks like they're the same crap. I measured them and look at that. I can clearly see, like you can clearly see that this one is much thinner than this one. I can use a caliper, but it's rubber, you know, so. But this one, okay, you know what, we can do it like this. This way it's harder to squeeze it. So 127, let's do it again. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. $137. To me, honestly, it looks like this is much more solid. First of all, this is much softer, this is much harder. That I can tell for sure. My fingernail barely goes into this one, and this one is soft. So I'm pretty sure that this is the problem. I'm pretty sure it's the quality of the gasket. Okay, I'll say it. I bought gaskets from most motors before and they were a piece of crap. And I bought these, like I bought 6 or 7 of these from Rimmer's Brothers and they are the same piece of crap. This kit I bought from British Park Northwest. So before, when I had this issue with another car, I went downstairs in my basement. I had oil filters that were from 1980s probably, just old oil filters, the one for the canister, and they came with gaskets. So I opened them, and again I did the same comparison, and the old one felt like this and the pieces of crap felt like this. So anyways, I don't know what we're gonna do in the future, but I just don't like the quality of the gaskets nowadays. Maybe I should keep buying these kits because they're like $7 each. I'd rather buy $7 gasket than $1 gasket and create troubles with it. Anyway, let's put this one on. All right, well, it looks like it's not leaking anymore. So I'm gonna let it sit until tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna start it again in the morning. Maybe we can go for a quick test drive as long as there's no snow, because it started snowing today a little bit. But anyway, I think we fixed it. If that's the case, then this is the third car that I fixed today. Well, that was my week. When things start going downhill, they just keep rolling one after the other. You fix one problem, another one appears. I don't think it's a bad luck. I think it is just a coincidence that all problems happened at once, but it was just never-ending story. So hopefully now we are out of this and we can come back to the garage and start working, because like I said, I haven't worked in 10 days. I haven't touched anything. If you remember, last we worked on the diff on this 76 TR6, and since then I haven't touched anything else. So anyway, that's gonna be everything for today, guys. I'm sorry for the rant and for the erratic video, like it was all over the place, but that's the only thing that I can show you because that's the only thing that happened to me. So anyways, that's gonna be everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.